So, as some of you may know, I went to Hay-on-Wye recently for my birthday and I went a little bit crazy. I think I lost all self-control when I was there. So, I thought it would be nice to go through the books that I got. Some sort of fantasy demon possessed me when I was there. I think I bought one romance book and the rest is fantasy. So let's go into what I got from Hay-on-Wye. The first book that I got is a romance book and it is Main Characters by Bobby Palmer. So I heard about this book through watching a YouTube video by Sarah Caroli, and the idea of this book sounds incredible. So it is about two characters who are forming a romance, but it's not told from their perspective. I don't think any of the book is from their perspective, from what I can gather, in the perspective of all the people around them, like watching them fall in love. And that is the most intriguing thing I've ever heard. The cover is beautiful. I had to search every single shop in Hay-on-Wye for it, but I did manage to find it. So the blurb of the book says, "This is a love story told by everyone but the main characters." How fascinating does that sound? So that has hooked me in from the beginning. So I cannot wait to read this. I've never ever read or heard of a book with this perspective before. Yeah, very, very excited for this one. Honestly, this haul, I am so happy with everything I bought. I'm so excited for every single book. I don't know how I'm going to pick which one to read first. Now, the next book that I bought, I am so late to the party. Everyone, their mums, their sisters, their aunties, and their uncles have read this book, but I just haven't, and I didn't realise how big it was until I saw it in person. Ollie picked it up. He was like, "What is that?" So, of course, it is Alchemized by Sen Lin Yu. Again, this book is humongous. 1,024 pages. I don't know how I haven't really seen this in person. Maybe I've seen it once or twice, but it is humongous. I recently have not read fantasy in ages, but I think because the cooler weather's starting to come in, it's been a little bit rainy. I'm craving a fantasy book. I'm going to do a read with me soon to try and get myself back into fantasy because I'm just getting that itch and I really need to read something fantasy. Maybe not my first book, but definitely will be reading this soon because from what I've heard, it's incredible. I have heard a bit of mixed reviews though. I've heard a lot of people saying that it was a lot longer than it should have been. I mean, that's a lot to say, 1,000 pages in one book, but there's something about a massive book that I love, like just being able to get lost in it. So yeah, I cannot wait to read this book. Again, I'll do a quick summary of the blurb for the people that haven't read it. So it says, "What is it that you think that you're protecting in that brain of yours? The war is over. Holdfast is dead. The eternal flame is extinguished. There's no one left for you to save." Oh my god. Sounds so good. So excited. Now, the next book, I will be honest, I've heard nothing about it, but I went into a lovely bookstore called North Books, I believe it was called, and the lady that was working there is absolutely lovely. I walked in and I was like, "Please just recommend me a book, something that I've not going to have heard of that you think I should read." And she recommended a book called Paladin's Grace. Apparently it's cozy fantasy, which I've not actually read. Like, when I look at all my fantasy books that I have read, it's always very high stakes, very political. So I'm really interested to see how I get on with cozy fantasy. I think it's going to be a good starting point. Like I said, I've not read fantasy in ages. So I think maybe reading something not so high stake, a little bit more chill vibes will help me. From what I understand of this book, there's a paladin who spends his time knitting socks, and I think he might be a bodyguard, but he witnesses an assassination gone wrong, and that's all I know of this. Apparently it's quite twisty, the lady in the shop said, but yeah, I am really excited to read this. I've never read cozy fantasy, not that I can think of. I'm interested to find out what makes it cozy, like how intriguing can it be if there's not really high stakes? That's what I'm curious for. I'm going to do a read along with this one very soon because, like I said, I want to start my fantasy era again, and I think a cozy fantasy is going to be the best place to start because it's probably been about a year since I picked up a fantasy book. Oh, I did read Onyx Storm. So other than Onyx Storm, it's probably been coming up to a year. So wish me luck. I can't wait to read that one soon. The next one that I saw everywhere, probably last year-ish time, and that is Blood of Hercules by Jasmine Mass. Again, I couldn't tell you what this is about. From what I understand, it's Roman gods or something like that. Yeah, Roman gods, and from what I understand, it's like a darker fantasy book. I'm curious to see what that is, because me and dark romance don't really get on, because I've never been able to fully get into it. However, I do think when it's fantasy, I can kind of accept it a bit more. That sounds really odd, but I just think, I don't know, in terms of fantasy books, you're used to the higher stakes, you're used to things being quite, they would have arrived in real life. Do you know what I mean? So I'm thinking maybe if I try something that's a bit darker in fantasy, it might be a good place for me to kind of build into that the darker side of books, I guess. So yes, really, really looking forward to this one. I've not read any books about like Greeks or ancient Romans or anything historical. So I'm really, really curious. And also, I've never seen it in paperback. It's very pretty. The back says, "Step into the Colosseum at the Spartan War Academy where monsters are made, immortality is won, and even a god can die." Honestly, I feel like I've done so well with these books. I feel like I just somehow hit the jackpot with all of them. I mean, I might be biased because they're ones that I've picked up and I've chose, but yeah, I'm so excited for every single one of these. I have no idea how I'm going to pick which one to read first. The last book that I bought on Hay-on-Wye, I do have some more, but they were more when I was travelling back. We bumped into a Tesco's and I was like, I absolutely need these because they're stunning. So the last book that I bought in Hay-on-Wye is A Court This Cruel and Lovely. And I'll be honest, the reason I picked this one up is because I've not heard of it. I'm trying to reach out for books that I've not seen everywhere, books that, I don't know, just books that kind of shout out to me, because sometimes they are the best ones that you find, the ones that aren't recommended and you just stumble upon them. This came from, I want to say it came from the bookshop Addyman Books, and everything was really well priced. So this book was £4.95, which I thought was brilliant, because in Hay-on-Wye a lot of the books were full priced. So to get a book for £4.75 or £4.95, I was really impressed with. I honestly can't tell you why I bought this. It's got a very pretty cover though. The blurb on the book is, "Just hours after humans are born, the gods take what little power we have. In return, they protect our borders from the vicious, merciless Fae." Like I said, I'm just craving fantasy. I think it's because it is coming closer to the winter weather, and this book shouted out to me, so I thought, why not? I'm in a place where I've never seen this book. I might never see it again, so I'm going to have to grab it and see how it is. Moving on to the books which I bought on my way home. They are from Tesco's, but I will warn you, some of these covers are stunning. So the first one is called Stillborn by Taylor J. Laurie. How cool does this book look? It's got sprayed edges. It's a Tesco exclusive edition. I've never seen anything about this book, never heard of it, but Ollie looked at it and was like, "That looks like a book you'd really enjoy." And I was like, "You're right, I'm going to get it." I'm really, really excited to read this book. Looking at it, it says, "Never run, never bow, and never die. Enter a world ruled by tyrants, thieves, where magic is outlawed, revolution brews, and desire is dangerous." Again, high stakes this sounds. And at the moment, I've got no self-control when it comes to fantasy. Every fantasy book, I'm like, I need it. I need it. I will let you know what I think of this one, because I've not seen anything there, and I don't know if I've just been living under a rock, but yeah, it looks really good. The next one, again, so the last two that I've got in the book haul were ones that just drew my attention. This one, I'm gonna be completely honest, hold my hands up. There's two dragons on it. I was like, I need it. Bloodbound by Ellis Hunter. Again, beautiful cover, really pretty. This one on the back says, "You cannot forfeit, you cannot run, you duel or you die." And to be honest, so it says 2 rivals, 1 duel, you fight or you die. And it was giving me Fourth Wing vibes. And I'll be honest, I really like the map. Don't know if you can see that. I really liked the map in it. So that was another thing that drew me to this book. Again, I've not seen anything about it. And the fantasy demon was still running riot apparently. But I'm thinking if I've got a selection of books, because what I sometimes find is when a book's been really, really recommended to me, I almost get scared to start it because I'm like, what if I don't like it? What if it's not as good as everyone makes it out to be? So I'm thinking by picking up books that haven't had loads of high recommendations or haven't been really, really recommended to me, it's going to take some of that pressure off and I might feel a bit more comfortable to read it. I'm just waffling, but that's my reason for buying these books. That's what I've justified and told myself is the reason for buying the books. There's no expectation on them, so I'm going to enjoy it more. And the last book, I'm a little bit gutted because I didn't realise that it was the second book in a series. But I mean, oh no, I'm going to have to buy another book. God. But that book is Duskbound by Geraldine and Geraldine? By Greenwich and Lennox. I have no idea where Geraldine came from. But again, it's another Tesco exclusive cover, sprayed edge. Again, dragons, how beautiful. And it says, all of the sleepless nights searching for any kind of meaning to my existence. It was so that I could find you. My life, my shadows, my loyalty, they belong to you now. So again, sounds incredible, but I am going to have to buy the first book before I read it, which I'm really sad about. But I mean, there's definitely, as a reader, there's definitely worse problems than having to buy another book. I mean, let's be real. Looking at it now that I've seen the first book, I'm like, oh, that was so obviously the second one to a series. Like the covers are the exact same, but obviously I hadn't seen the first one, so that's why I kind of didn't put two and two together. That's all of my loss of self-control that I had over this weekend. I'm so excited for every single one. Which book do you recommend the most out of all the ones that I've shown you? Have you read any of them? Because I would like to hear your thoughts. If you have stayed this far, thank you so much for watching. I love hearing your thoughts on the books that I've got or the ones that you've read yourself. Is there any that you're going to pick up now based off of the blurbs and what I've explained about them? Let me know. But if you have stayed this far, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you again in another video very soon. Bye.